Okay, welcome everybody. We are going to go through paint mixing. I already have my glue in the cups, and I have chosen 3 colors to use. They're all apple barrel, pink polish, lavender sachet, and Concord grape. The glue that I've put in here is about equal to about half of one of these 2-ounce bottles. I got 2 of the lavender sachet that was open, and for some reason both of them got open instead of just one. I don't know. All you do is, hey, this simple little trick. You got these little plastic things on there and you're having trouble tearing it off and stuff. Let's see if I can get my hands to work. Okay. You twist it in the opposite direction that you would take the lid off, and the plastic just comes right off. Easy peasy. And these little 2-ounce bottles do not have the inner seal. So you just take that off and you're good to go. I just squeezed about half a bottle in here. Roughly. I mean, it's not exact because I haven't used the digital scale in months. It just got tiring having to use it. And then you get real stickler on making sure you get that 0.1 on there and stuff. Okay. And in this one, I do want some of my coconut milk hair serum. Make sure it's open. And then you barely squeeze a little bit at a time until you get a drop forming, and keep just squeezing just a little bit until it falls. Smallest drop possible is all you want. And then I assign it a popsicle stick. I wait and I mix until I get everybody else done. I'm just tapping the bottle. It helps bring it down, pop it open. Squeeze. And it's cool how some of these colors look, and then once you go to mixing them, they just develop so beautifully. Like this lavender sachet is a favorite color of mine, and I'm not even a big fan of purple and pink. But this one, and then this pink that I'm fixing to use, I love. Pink polish. They're just beautiful, beautiful colors. Like I said, about half a bottle. It don't have to be exact. I really need to use up some of these paints so I can go buy more paint. I never have enough paint. Okay, anyway. They get assigned sticks. I don't want cells to go crazy, so I'm only putting cells in the darker purple. So I'm going to go. Pop sockets make it so much easier to hold your phone while you're doing stuff. Just hopefully I don't drip this paint out. Because I want to kind of try to show y'all. There we go. Stir it a little more, because this one does have the coconut milk hair serum in it. When you put the hair serum or treadmill oil, whatever you use, you want to make sure it's good. Okay, I'm going to tilt it so maybe you can see. You swirl it around. You let the paint fall off the stick and you swirl it around. This one is disappearing almost immediately into the paint, back into the paint, so it is done. I think you'll be able to see better in these other colors because they're not as dark. Okay, let me go back and stir. I scrape the sides and the bottom to make sure I get all that glue up. Oh, this one seems thick. See how it kind of just sits there for a second before sinking back in? That's when you take your bottle of water. You want to get just a teeny tiny amount of water to go in, so go slow. Oh, too much water. That's fine. If you get too much water, take you a cup and very carefully pour you some of that water out right before the paint starts coming out. And you always have paper towels ready to wipe up any mess. Stir in that water good. You check the consistency again. It's still a little thick, so I will pour that water back in there. I always pour out excess water just in case, but I save it to pour back in just in case it is needed. I don't want to go too thin. I went too thin on the sterling silver metallic folk art paint I had the other day, and I ended up just using that as a somewhat pouring medium for other paints. Okay, now this one, see how it's almost disappearing as quick as it sits there? That is perfect. That matches up to that one. So now we move on to the pink. Stir, 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 stir. I can't wait till I get my tripod and I can make some good videos. Okay. Then you check it. And this one's disappearing almost as quick as the others. So this one does not need water at all. Some paints like reds, the dark purples, the dark greens, they need more water than others. And surprisingly, the bright yellows need quite a bit of water with it. The stuff like these light pinks, some of the light blues, the light oranges, they don't need as much water at all. Okay, so I'm repurposing this canvas to make sure that I will have it covered completely. I am going to be taking my black mixture that I already got. I got some marbles in this bottle. That way I can mix up the glue and the water that I already got in here. Just shake, 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 shake. Shake your bottle. I just kind of make sure till I start hearing them marbles move around good. And then I'll kind of tap it down. One thing I do with these that have these kind of lids is I squeeze them some and then put my finger over them and shake. And then I'll take my fingers off, my hands off the side of the bottle. They're still indented. And then I let it suck back in. If anybody's ever dyed their hair, they're going to know that that's going to start seeping out the top. So, yeah, just do a little squeeze beforehand, finger, shake. Because if not, here, I'll do one where I don't shake. I'm not squeezing the bottle. And it'll slowly start coming out, see? And then kind of tap your bottle to make it go back down in there. And sometimes it refuses. So just wipe it away and wipe on your paper towel. Okay. Now, let me put on my gloves, pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Got my trusty gloves on. The bad thing about this bottle is it don't pour out as fast. So it's not take a second. If I just go around the canvas, making sure to put enough paint on this that it will cover. I like getting close to the edge and even letting it drift off the edge. Drip. Not drift. Off the edge some. And just swirl it around. Just to make sure you got enough paint on here so when you're using your little handy palette knife or your hands. Some people uses their hands to spread this paint around. I myself like using my trusty little tools. I'm going to go off the sides here. I don't think that's enough paint, so let's put a little more. That, and then I get the marble stuck up by there, so it makes it a little hard just to go around. Okay, let's see if that's enough. Now we take this. I kind of, don't knock over your paintings. And you just kind of just swish, 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 swish it around to make sure you cover everywhere. And that is not enough paint, but I'll spread what I can and then I'll add more paint, which is not really that big of a deal because this mixture will cover all this. I just want somewhat of a fresh start for this canvas. Everybody deserves a fresh start, even canvases too. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna quit being corny now. I'm going to take more and put right along the edges. Here. Okay. And sometimes it is just a little easier just to use your fingers on the edges. You bring some of the paint down. You can get these tiny little staple holes and stuff. Pretty soon I'm going to start stretching my own canvases because my friend at her printing shop has canvas left over from her banners and stuff. That's the backing of the banners that she's going to let me have, and all I got to do is make a wooden frame, and then I'll be able to stretch my own canvases. And I'll be able to charge less money because I'm not going out and buying pre-made, pre-gessoed canvases. And that's the thing. If you get canvases that does not say anything about being prepped, triple gessoed, anything like that, you don't want to be paying that much for that, for one. For two, when you get them home, you gotta also get some acrylic gesso and paint the heck out of it to make sure you got a flat surface that's not really porous. Also, if you're going to be painting on wood, I suggest that you gesso that. Alright, I'm just going to go over to make sure that it's an even layer as much as possible. Set you down for a second while I wipe off my finger. And then my glove's like getting all messed up on this part. Come on, glove. Okay. And then I'm wiping my knife. Kind of just doing that. I'll go to the corner so I can kind of press down a little bit more. And then it tends to get mostly everything off. And I can also fine tune that later on, which I'm not going to waste y'all's time with that. Okay, here is where you got to make some important decisions. What kind of painting are you wanting to do? We're kind of past the swipe part. That can be another video. We can do a ring pour, which is great for beginners. A dirty flip cup pour, which is great for beginners as well. I think I might go with ring pour, just to show y'all. Alright, so you get a fresh cup. Get my phone. And you just start pouring layers into the cup any way you want, any order you want. You can have it go in a specific order. You could just be randomly pouring them in there. It does not matter. You can make sure it covers the whole thing, or you can just pour directly in the middle. Again, it does not matter. And you just keep pouring. For this 8x10 canvas, I don't know if I mentioned that, it is an 8x10. I want to at least get up to here with the paint. I normally end up having too much paint on the canvas, which is fine because you can just tilt it off. Because the more paint you have, the more drying time you have to do. Which the drying time could be anywhere from 24 hours up to 6-7 days. It just depends on how much paint and what you paint it on. Like these picture frame glass panes I've been using, not even a full 24 hours and they're already dry. Alright, I think I'm going to do my last layer and just pretty much finish off these cups. You can go up higher to make it sink in a little more, or lower to sit there. And I'll stack up my cups. And then when you're doing this, you can also scrape out paint to make sure you get most of your paint out of the cup. Which I ain't too worried about, because like I said, I need to use up these paints. Some of these I've had for almost 5 months, but All I gotta do is shake them up real good and they're good. Alright, so here we go. There's the cup. Sometimes, not every time, and you don't want to do much, take your stick in slowly, pull it, come out, and you can even do it in another direction, just slowly. You don't want to do too much. And if you accidentally get on your canvas, that's fine. I'm telling you, this is the easiest form of painting. It can be a delicate form, but oh my god, it is so forgiving. Let me torch this base coat real quick. And see, I'm just barely letting my torch touch the canvas. The heat is what you need to pop the bubbles that are there. Okay. Now, ring pour. You go to the center or somewhat center, wherever you want, and you slowly tilt your cup until it starts to come out. And you try to stay in the one spot. You try. I don't always. You can kind of circle your cup around a little bit. I'm making my elbows sit on the table to where I got a little bit more of support. You can swirl it. You can go back to just a straight pour. You can slow it down to where you get more rings in there. Or you can go quicker. You can just do all kinds of things. Now, I don't know how I'm going to tilt this, having my camera in one hand, but I will try. Alright. So that's what we got. If you want big cells, you torch right now before you do anything else. You got your cells already coming out. I'm really going to try this one-handed. Come around. If you want to keep the rings, all you do is you just circle it back and forth. But I don't really care to keep all the rings. I just start tilting, and there might be something that I like going on. I might want to keep, so I'll tilt back the other way to stretch out what I'm liking. I'll come back this way. You can also keep your hand there and kind of come up and make the paint kind of fall quicker. You can kind of push it and make it come out a little more. And use your finger to get the corners good. And then now we're going to that corner. And this drippings right here, I'm going to be using for a pop socket, which will be a bonus on this video. Which will be for my mom. I had already done a pop socket for her, but the case she got, it really didn't match. Now I'm just checking my corners to make sure we're covered. And now I will do the finger swipe to get all these drips so it does not keep dripping on its own. Because if it keeps dripping, then it's going to be pulling. Because I like what's going on here. Alright, I'm going to take this glove off since it's dirty. Now we're going to go back and torch some more. And what's cool is if you got heavy silicone in some areas, the black background will start to pop out. And you just torch. I even torched the sides so they're not left out. And I think that's where I went wrong whenever I caught the puppy pad on fire. Okay, and I kind of look at it from different angles to make sure I got all the air bubbles. Sometimes you get air bubbles that just refuse to pop. You just gotta let them go, because then you're going to end up cooking your canvas like I've done before. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to move the canvas over some where I can get to these drippings easily. And if you mess up your canvas, just lightly tap. Or you can even take some on your finger, your drippings, and just tap, and it'll eventually fall together. Wipe that off. I'm going to pause to get the pop socket. Okay, now I got this little pop socket that I'm going to find a good spot. good spot. I think I'm gonna go here. And you push and you raise up. And then I like making it twist around to make cool little designs or take off any color I picked up that I don't want. Because there is some black on here, and I don't think her phone case has a lot of black. So we'll try to pour that off, and then I like coming straight back down to pull some more. And then if you're not fond of that, you can take it and dip it again, let it drip some, and then go back with the swirling. I'll sit here and swirl it for a while, and then I will torch this as well. Just try to take out this little black right here. A little bit of black won't be bad, but I don't want a lot of black. I just like keep twirling until I'm just satisfied with how it looks. And as long as you don't push down too hard, you don't get it all over the underside of where the pop socket goes. But if you do, you can just scrape it away. This paint pouring is so forgiving. That black is trying to pop back out on us, but I think we're going to have to live with it. Alright, now you just set it down somewhere without dropping it. Somewhere flat. Okay. And then take your torch and really quickly, and there you go. There's a pop socket. These take about 24 hours to 48 hours to dry. And then I still varnish them as well. Because, I mean, come on now. It's on our phone. We're going to be using it a lot. Alright. Well, there's my steps of paint pouring with the bonus pop socket done. Like I said, it is real simple. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. This has been Painting with Pagans by Angela. Thank you and have a wonderful day, everybody. Bless you.